Let's get some legal analysis now with Bruce DelValle in Washington, D.C. He's a constitutional law specialist. Bruce, always good to have you here on TRT World. Now,
Thank you for having me.
for years, prosecutors in the U.S. have tried to formally charge Trump, but nothing has ever really stuck. Does the fact that he's actually been indicted mean that New York prosecutors believe they have a case that they can win?
That is a great question. I think it's a very difficult question to answer on some level. Certainly, the grand jury believed, based upon the evidence that was presented to it, or else it would not have returned the indictment with the number of charges. Some people think there's 20 charges or 30. It boggles my mind to think that there could be even more than 3. But just remember, the grand jury standard to hand down an indictment is probable cause. And that is basically, well, it may have happened or it could have happened. And that's the lowest standard in all of the law. So what we have here is a great deal of bravado by Mr. Bragg, the Manhattan DA, district attorney. And I don't think there's much else than that. But he does think he can win this case, although his predecessor passed on it. So it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, Tuesday is going to be a day when it's not just Americanized on that courtroom, it's going to be the whole world. Bruce, you say you don't think there could be more than 3 charges. What could those charges be, in your opinion?
I think there's going to be a charge. New York has a very peculiar law, at least in relation to the other parts of the United States, which says that it is a crime, a misdemeanor, to falsify business records. And to prove that case, you have to show that there was an intent to falsify, there was an intent to defraud, and that someone was harmed. But one hears that there is also a felony charge. So to make it a felony, there has to be something else, and that something else has to either be a conspiracy to defraud or violate the federal election laws. Both of those are problematic because you just don't see generally state cases built upon an allegation of a state violation coupled with a federal violation that's never been brought. Additionally, conspiracy is a little problematic because someone has to be harmed in the conspiracy. President Trump conspired against himself, if he conspired with anyone. No one was really harmed. So those are the cases, those are the charges that I think we'll see. I just have a lot of a difficulty imagining that a jury's going to convict them. You have to prove that there was criminal intent and there was criminal fraud. He could have wanted to pay her off to keep his wife from finding out or to keep his company from being harmed. It's just going to be a very interesting case. It doesn't look like a very strong case. But once again, we have not seen the indictment yet, and we're not going to see it until tomorrow.
Bruce, what do you expect then from Trump's legal teams in terms of the defense that they'll be wanting to put forward?
I think we're going to see a lot of storm and fury because it is President Trump, and we're going to see a lot of false bravado and a lot of pronunciations and pronouncements and a lot of difficulty scrambling to try to control their client and keep him quiet. I will tell you this, I can not imagine any circumstance where it would be advisable to put him on the witness stand or to let him talk. He's very difficult to control. I think they're going to move to dismiss this indictment. I think they're going to move to dismiss these charges as not being well-founded, as not being based upon legal realities, not being based upon a crime that has been committed. Because you have to ask yourself, even if you cannot stand President Trump or if you love him, who really got hurt here? Who was harmed? What societal interest was damaged? How are we making something right that was wronged? By paying off a porn star? Paying her to have sex, if that's her job anyway? I think it's going to be fascinating. It's going to be great theater, but I don't see that there's going to be a lot of substantive issues here in terms of whether there was really a crime and whether justice is at issue here.
Fascinating and great theater, all the hallmarks of Donald Trump himself. Bruce DelValle, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's great to see you again, Yasmin.